Us, how you all doing? It's me back again, Analog Attack. Beautiful Thursday morning here in Osaka. We've had some missiles launched over Japan this morning from North Korea. That's the big news. Really, what I'm doing today is I'm testing out this streaming software because Zoom now you can only get 30 minutes, even with only 2 people, which is going to be a big problem when I have guests on. Just only having 30 minutes. So I'm probably going to be doing videos like this from now on StreamYard or Restream, and this is kind of a test to see how that goes. And that's one thing. And the other thing is, if you see the title, it says Analog Attacks, Digital Attack. Yep, that's right. You know what? I've been buying a lot of CDs lately. There's a few reasons for that. I mean, some of the new releases coming out, the sort of price difference between the CD and the record, it's just ridiculous now. You can get the CD for like 1,300 yen, 400 yen, and then the record's like 5,000, 6,000. So, a lot of the new releases that I want, just can't get the vinyl. I'm getting the CD. And I pulled my old Technics CD deck out of the cupboard, hooked it up. Sounds great, I have to say. So I've been going through a lot of my old CDs and then buying a lot of stuff. And so today, let's kind of have a look at some of the CDs that I've been buying lately. So sit back and enjoy. Comments are open. You got any questions for me? Put them in there. I think my timing's a little bit bad again, isn't it? It's 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning here. That's okay. That's like late Wednesday night stateside, right? Something like that. All right, let's get down to it, shall we? So there was a Swedish band that I was pretty into. Starting off as a death metal band and then totally did a 360 with their style. Talking about Catatonia. Now, at one point I had like most of their records on most of their albums on vinyl, and there was a bizarre beer spilling accident in which all of my Catatonia records were just like destroyed by beer in one fell swoop, just soaked. The jackets were screwed. I actually had them out because I was going to do an episode on them. Never happened because, the vinyl was destroyed. So there's like no way I was going to go back and try and re-buy all those records. So what did I do? Well, just this week, I was in Disc Union again in Osaka. And right on the shelf, there was a whole bunch of Catatonia CDs. Last Fair Deal Gone Down, which it's one of their sort of highly regarded ones. I like the CD. I think this band might even work better for me on CD. So that was one of them. And then we got the Night is the New Day. Any Catatonia fans watching? Night is a New Day. Can you see that? There we go. And The Great Cold Distance. I like these sort of rounded cases on these. Pretty cool looking. And Viva Emptiness. This is another one I remember being pretty good. I have this one on vinyl too. And this one, I have to say, I much prefer this to the vinyl that I had of it. It's like a big box, big booklet inside. It's got a bonus DVD on it. This is the Dead End King. So maybe this weekend I'll get down to some serious Catatonia listening. What's everyone's favorite Catatonia? Mine's probably like after the first few death metal albums, I think Discouraged Ones is sort of my go-to. But I hear a lot of people don't like that one. They think it's sort of a bit too, like they really haven't sort of formed their sound yet, their new sound. But I think it's great. And another band, similar situation. Used to have a lot of their records, got rid of most of them, still have a few. And the band is called Nebula. Now, this band is really one of the sort of pioneers, I would say, of modern day stoner rock. I think coming out the late 90s. And this was the one that I got, actually. that sort of set me off on getting the others. It's the Nebula Peel sessions. They did a few Peel sessions back in the day. These are really, really good, really good. And so, you know, the old OCD, whatever you call it, kicked in, and I was like, oh God, I've got to get back those Nebula records that or albums that I don't have anymore. So I got them all, I think. Isn't this their first album? To the Center? They were signed to Sub Pop back in the day. So I think there's that sort of link, isn't there, really, between sort of grunge or post-grunge and then the beginnings of this sort of stoner rock stuff. So yeah, this is on Sub Pop. And so was this. This is a good one too. Charged. This is another great fuzzy tones. It's Eddie Glass, isn't it? The main guy in the band, ex Fu Manchu. Pretty similar. It's kind of sounding to Fu Manchu, I would say. Then we kind of move into the sort of heavy psych sounds era. Maybe they reformed, maybe. So we got Apollo. There you go. And we got Atomic Ritual. And we got Holy Shit, which I don't like the title of this album, but decent record. And the new one has just come out. I haven't got it yet. I'm looking forward to play that. I actually got that one on vinyl. I'm sort of contradicting myself now, but it was real cheap. I got real cheap. So I went for the vinyl of that one. So Nebula. Any Nebula fans watching? What's your favorite Nebula album? I think mine's what's it? I got it on the shelf over there. Didn't bring it up today because I'm only showing CDs. Cheers. Another band, Swedish band again. One of these sort of new school retro rock bands. I really like their first three albums: Witchcraft, the Firewood, and The Alchemist. And then they left Rise Above Records, and then they went to Nuclear Blast. And for me, there was a sort of change in their sound a little bit. And they put out this record called Legend, and I bought that on vinyl when it came out. I ended up getting rid of it, but yeah, ended up rebuying it. Can you see a bit of a glare there? On CD, Japanese CD. I think it's got a bonus track on it. Yeah, it's actually better than I remember it being. In fact, quite enjoyed listening to this. And one I haven't actually gotten around to yet, which people say is sort of a return to form. This one is Nucleus. Again, beautiful Japanese CD. Hello, Alex. How you doing, mate? You should definitely check out Nebula. I think right up your alley. Right up your alley. I think they'll be. Oh, Alex is watching. Maybe I'll go to this pile next. Here we go. Morgion. Anyone know this band? Doom band, I believe. Sort of came up in a search I was doing, and this is a CD of their first two albums on Relapse Records. Morgion, the Relapse collection. I'm not sure if it's Death Doom or Traditional Doom. Haven't got around to it yet, but I'm looking forward to checking this out. Morgion. Here's a band I've been trying to sort of get into and listen to for a long time. Can never find their records over here. But Harvey Milk. You know this band? Anybody? Any Harvey Milk fans watching? Yeah. This was like 200 yen. Crazy. Not sure what the name of the album is. It's really hard to see. It's got no information on the cover. A Small Turn of Human Kindness is the name of the album. Is that a good one of Harvey Milk? What Harvey Milk albums should I get apart from this one, which I've already got? Okay, here's an old favorite of mine, Goat Snake. I've got all their albums on vinyl, and but I didn't have this one. Although I think the Goat Snake tracks are actually on the reissue of Flower of Disease, or the first album, I forget. But this is a split CD with Burning Witch on Southern Lord. talking of witchcraft and Swedish bands like Graveyard, I think, you know what? I think this band, Horizont, are possibly my favorite of the whole bunch. This is one I didn't have. This is the Japanese CD. It's called Odyssey, but their record from was it last year? Sudden Death, or was it 2 years ago? Last year? Oh God, I played that album to death. They did a little bit of a switch in their sound, added some really sort of melodic ELO style melodies and stuff. I love that record. Never heard this one, so I was chuffed to get Odyssey on CD. I like this band. I like this band's new record. Is really good. I've been playing it a lot. Big Scenic Nowhere is the name of the band, and I picked up these two CDs for real cheap. I mean, the vinyl's like 3,000-4,000 yen. These were 500-600 yen each. So we got the full length album from I think 2 years ago, Vision Beyond Horizon, and then this sort of mini album called Lavender Blues. Again, another band that's on the heavy psych sounds. They're a really prolific label. Now, this is one that I've loved for years. Remember the last episode I did? Did I talk about it? When I was talking about downloading like really low quality like MP3s off stonerrock.com. This one was one that I loved, and I played it to death. And I think I did have the CD like going back 20 years back now. Probably got rid of it. Don't know what happened to it. I've been looking for a replacement for ages, and I finally did. The band is Internal Void, and the album is Unearthed. Man, this is just a Riff City. Such a great album. It's called Unearthed, Internal Void. Two of the guys played in Pentagram on, I think, the Show 'Em How album. Oh man, big grooves on this album. But it's funny, you go on the internet, a lot of people say this is a step down from their first album, which I've never heard, never seen it. So I put that on my sort of wants list now, and hopefully I'll be able to track down a copy of the first album at some point. Witchcraft, not just witchcraft, but psychedelic witchcraft. This is an Italian band, again, Japanese CD on Ward Records. Really good retro psychedelic stoner doom. Sound of the Wind is the name of that album. Italian band, female vocals. I think the vocalist sings for the Dead Witches as well. Am I right in saying that? Played this last night after a few beers. Had a good time with it. Psychedelic witchcraft. So that's that. Okay, let's go to the next pile, shall we? I'm going to do Boris next. Remember in my last stream I was talking about how I'd gotten the new Boris album, that like the Heavy Rocks 2022 blew me away. I've been really cynical about Boris. I didn't like him. Sort of ignored him, really, to be honest. But that album was so good that it kind of triggered me to give him a second chance, really. And I actually picked up the W LP from Boris, which is also released this year. Very different album to the Heavy Rocks. It's more kind of shoegazy, dream pop. That's also really good too. So what I did is I got on Disc Union online and typed in Boris used CDs. A whole bunch came up, all of them really cheap. So I just went whole hog and got them all. I've still probably only got like a tenth of their discography because it's big, right? But these are the ones I got, and I haven't even played most of them yet. So tell me what you think of these. This is Feedbacker, isn't it? I think this is the original like Disc Union one, I think. Feedbacker. Pink, which I'm told is sort of one of their classic albums. Again, this is an original Disc Union Japanese version. Again, Boris Akuma no Uta, which is also the original Disc Union. Doesn't have the Nick Drake parody cover on it. It has this like really basic, simple cover design on it. This one I really like. It's Attention Please, which on this one, Wata, she sings on every song. It's like shoegazy, again, dream pop kind of stuff. Really like this one. I played this sort of 3 or 4 times in a row. Love it. And then we've got the other heavy rocks, haven't we? Okay, this is the first one, right? This is the one that... No. This is the first one, the orange one. Heavy Rocks, again, considered one of their classics, I think. And then 10 years later, they did Heavy Rocks again. This is from 2011. Yeah. Not sure about this one. And it's funny, you know, there's obviously 3 albums they've done now called Heavy Rocks. You know what? I like the new one the best, which might be controversial opinion, but that's the one that I'm enjoying the most. And then we've got Dear, and this was supposed to be their sort of a farewell album, wasn't it? But they ended up carrying on. This is a double CD version again. It's the Japanese version, I think, maybe on Disc Union. I can't see, but yeah, Dear is the name of this album. And then we've got Smile, which I believe there's at least 2 or 3 different versions of. I thought I'd got the Japanese one. This is the Southern Lord version, and if you go online, there's a whole bunch of differences between the Japanese version and the American version, so that's interesting. I might try and get the Japanese one at some point. Again, another one of their classics, isn't it? Amplifier Worship. This is on Mangrove Records, you know, which is the label of Bass record shop in Tokyo. Mangrove is their record label. They've got a pretty wide discography. I love the cover on this, actually. Kind of cheeky frog on the cover. This one I did get, and I've not really read good things about it, but it was cheap. This is one of the ones they've done with Suno or Sun, however you pronounce it. This one's called Alter. It's a double CD, so I assume it's like a triple LP or a quadruple LP. Not played this one yet. And then this one's pretty cool. It's like a compilation album. It's got like all their sort of heavy rock stuff on it. None of the shoegaze stuff. So maybe I think this one is a good sort of primer for anyone who is unfamiliar with Boris and sort of wants to dive in to their sort of more heavy rock style. So Boris, I've got some records too. Not going to show those today. CD only day today. So that's Boris for you. How's everyone doing? How's the video looking? I can't see. The last one I did, when I look back on it, the video is all kind of choppy and I'm not sure why. I'll check out how this one ends up later. Okay, next pile, what we got? This is like a random pile, I think. Oh, Yawning Void. You know this band? It was a kind of one and done band, kind of death doom, but with a real huge groove going on. It's called The Streams Within. I know nothing about the band. This is great though. I think it was never released on vinyl. Yeah. Yawning Void. Great album. Great album. And then that was it. This is what happened. I heard a bit of the new Exhumed album. Played a couple of tracks on YouTube. I think it's great. I mean, I much prefer it to the new Autopsy album, to be honest. And so that made me go back and look for some of the older stuff, which I'd heard before, but never owned. So again, Disc Union online, cheap as chips. I've got 3 Exhumed CDs. Gore Metal. This is the first album. I think this is like the original Relapse CD. It's pretty cool. And then Slaughter Cult Festa Forever, which, this is the Japanese one on Ritual Records. And I think it might have a bonus DVD, like live in Japan on here. That's Exhumed. And then this one. Anatomy is Destiny. This is the one that has the live in Japan bonus album on it. Exhumed. Great stuff. Great band. And then another band I really like. I've got maybe 5 or 6 of their records. I couldn't find this one on vinyl. In the end, I just gave up and got the CDs. Aura Noir, the best black and thrash band on the planet, I would say. And this is their Merciless album on Peaceful. Of course, this rips. Love this band. Anybody watch the documentary on Jeffrey Dahmer? You know what? I couldn't finish it. It's just too grim for me. But as I was sort of watching it, this popped up on the Disc Union like recommended items page or whatever. And of course, it's Macabre, and their Dahmer CD. I don't really like this. I love Gloom a lot. Some of this like sounds like No Effects a little bit. They got some like wacky, sort of high-pitched vocals going on. I'm not too keen on this, to be honest with you. Not liking it too much, but there you go. Macabre and Dahmer. Oh, thirsty work this. You know what? It's really hot. It's what, November 3rd? It's really hot. Crazy days, crazy weather. Okay, I've got some more. Jesus, I've been buying a lot of CDs, haven't I? Here's the next stack I've got. Here we go. Paul Chain, Violet Theatre. Are you wearing your capes, everyone? This was a funny story that happened. I actually posted it on my Facebook. Amazon Japan. I went on there looking for some Paul Chain Violet Theatre vinyl reissues. Didn't have any, but they had a bunch of CDs, 3 or 4 CDs, and they were just priced at something like 463 yen or something. So we've got this one, Paul Chain Violet Theatre In the Darkness, which I believe is a full LP. It's all black and purple. Can't really see it very well. So there was that for like 450 yen. Then Detaching from Satan. These have obies on, but I tucked them inside. This is their classic, isn't it? Again, really, really cheap. And then a couple of compilations. Paul Chain Between Black and Violet. This is a double disc compilation on the Paul Chain official fan club, and apparently it says there are only 150 made of these. I don't believe it. But again, this is like 450 yen or something. And the same with this. This one is another compilation of more of this sort of ambient, experimental stuff. But it's funny though, you know, because as soon as I bought these, I went back and they'd like raised the price to like 2,800 yen. I think that was a bit of a mistake from someone at Amazon in the warehouse there. But thanks to whoever did that. Made me a happy boy. Venom Inc. There's Only Black. That's their new album from this year. I've been playing that a lot. It's real heavy, real polished. And so that and a couple of other things have made me go back and listen to a lot of the older Venom stuff that I missed, because I stopped following them after Possessed, so I'm kind of clueless about everything after that. Well, I'm not now, because I've been catching up. And Primeval. This is a good one. I like this a lot. I believe this is the Demolition Man's debut with Venom. Of course, Demolition Man came from Atomcraft, didn't he? Which I used to like that band quite a bit. So I picked up that one. I also got some of their stuff on vinyl too, like Hell and a couple of others. Kind of cheap. Hell's a good one. I really like that one. And what else? From the Very Depths. That's a great album too. Love that one. And then Skeletons in the Closet, which is like a compilation of sort of, I don't know what this is really. It's like maybe rare versions of songs and stuff like that. But anyway, this is put out by Neat Records. Look at that. Best logo ever. Neat Records. I haven't checked this out yet. And then this one, which is okay. I mean, but look at that. It's the logo change era. It has like a lenticular. Can you see that? Lenticular cover. Kronos in particular looks quite ridiculous. This one is a double CD version, which has re-recorded versions of a lot of their classic songs. Right, I haven't gotten around to play that. I'm kind of afraid to. Kind of tying in with Venom is Assomvel, who are actually more sort of Motorhead worship. But I love this band. Been trying to find this on vinyl for ages. Eventually just settled for the CD. British Motorhead worship of the highest caliber. Great band. Okay, this is the last stack. The last stack. Anyone else in the chat? Just Alex? Yeah, when are you coming back to Tokyo, Alex? We'll have to meet up. Have some drinks, some mineral water, and check out the record stores. All right, last stack here, and then I'm done for the day, and I'll see how this StreamYard thing worked out. Rotting Christ. I had the second album, the third album, the fourth album, the fifth, and a bunch of later ones. I've never heard this before. This is a recent reissue on Season and Mist. This is their first album, right? I assume that this is their rawest and most evil sounding of all their records. I've got that kind of demos double album too, which I like a lot. So Rotting Christ, Passage to Arcturo. Looking forward to checking this out. Municipal Waste, another band that I've kind of dabbled in, but never ever really owned any of their stuff. So I found these cheap. The Art of Partying, which people say is one of their classics. But you know what? I like this one better. Massive Aggressive. I played these back to back last night, and I have to say, much prefer this one. And I've just ordered the new album on vinyl. So I'm sort of a new Municipal Waste fan, but I don't have the sweatpants to prove it. So there you go. This is a weird one. It's Black Sabbath. I think it's a gray area release, kind of a bootleg, but it's a 4 CD set called Masters of Reality, 1970 to 1975. It's got 4 shows on it. We've got the Asbury Park, New Jersey, 5th of August, 1975, full show. Man, Megalomania on that is killer. And is this on anything else? I feel like, is this on the Sabotage, like, deluxe reissue? I'm sort of blanking on that at the moment. I could pluck it off the shelf, actually, but I'm not going to. And then we've got the Olympia Paris, December 1970, yeah, show. And then disc 3 is the full California Jam show. And then disc 4 is at Santa Monica Civic Center, September 75. Only 5 songs on this one, on that disc, but sounds great. I don't know if there's a vinyl version, but this was really cheap, like 4 CD set. Really happy with this. Kind of flimsy packaging, but I mean, music sounds great. Top quality stuff. Oh, yes. This is the one. This is the CD that I've been playing the most lately. Disengage. Anyone remember this band? Cleveland, Ohio band. This came out on Man's Ruin, but this is a band that really, I posted about it the other day on Facebook, but it's kind of like stoner rock, but it's kind of got like that post grunge going on. It's really melodic. I'm assuming, I don't know like what anything about this band. I just know that this album is incredible, so catchy. Yeah, I do remember downloading the low quality MP3s 20 years ago. Great to like pick this up. 200 yen for an old Man's Ruin CD. Chuffed a bit, I tell you. Played this 3 times in a row last night. No kidding. Cheers. Anyone like this stuff? It's a bit too grapefruity for me, to be honest. What we got next? Oh, yes. Lord Vigo. Anybody know this band? Not too familiar. They're a German band. I think they've had 4 albums out, which were kind of straightforward, traditional doom metal with some sort of sci-fi stuff going on. But Lord Vigo is a character from Ghostbusters, isn't he? Anyway, I found this at like 60% off. It's a new album. It's the new album. It's called We Shall Overcome, and they've done a little bit of a change in style. I love it. It's like really catchy, huge hooks, some like gothic influences going on in there. People are a bit confused by it because it's a bit of a 360 from their other stuff. I'm really enjoying this, I have to say. I mean, it could be going into sort of ghost territory a little bit. It's kind of a little bit poppy, really catchy, but I love this, man. Love this record. Love this album. Lord Vigo, We Shall Overcome. German band, I believe. Okay. 3 more. This is not that interesting. Abdullah. You know this band? Late 90s, early 2000s. Again, like stoner rock. But one of those stoner rock bands that's kind of very melodic and maybe has a little bit of an Alice in Chains influence going on. I kind of eat this stuff up. It's a little bit similar to Disengage. Not so catchy, not so melodic, but I think this is their 2nd album. It's called Graveyard Poetry. Pretty good stuff. Okay, and the last 2 I've got to show. This is an interesting band, actually. It's a Norwegian band that were around in the 70s but didn't record anything, like a heavy rock band, heavy prog band. And then they got back together in the 90s and started putting out records. And I think this is one that they had kind of recorded or not recorded, but kind of had ready in the 70s, but it never came out. It's called Underground and Beyond. Underground and Beyond. It's pretty decent. But for me, this is the one that I've been really getting into. This is a kind of later one, I guess late 90s. Blues from Hella. Really good. There's like Jethro Tull style flute all over it. Lots of kind of orchestration, pretty heavy riffs. I think this is the only problem with this is they have a Captain Beyond cover on it, and it's not good at all, and it kind of takes you out of the album a little bit, because their own songs, I'm not saying their own songs are better than Captain Beyond songs, but their version of I can't see the CD case, but yeah, just they should have put it at the end as a bonus track, or just not put it on at all, because spoils the flow of the album, but I like this band a lot. They've got a whole bunch of other CDs and albums out. Lucifer was from Norway. Check them out. And that's all I got today. I'll probably do a part 2 of this. I've got a whole bunch of other CDs over there. And I just want to say that on Friday night, I'm going to have Tony Pence on the StreamYard. We're going to take a look at his record store, Celebrated Sounds, the history. He's probably got some really cool stories to tell about his record store. So tune in for that. Again, it'll be sort of live streaming because of the Zoom restrictions, but by all means, check it out. So thanks for tuning in. Hope this looks okay. Until next time, stay healthy and stay clean.